Hey guys, welcome back. Scraped that last Christmas pour. It looked more like a nightmare before Christmas, so it's gone. It was a bit dark and dreary looking, wasn't it? It wasn't nice and bright. So I've cut down on the black. I've only got the 1 cup of black. I've got 2 cups of white. I've got 2 reds, dark reds. I've got the 1 light red, and then I've got a light green and a dark green. So maybe that'll lighten it up a little bit. We'll see. Mix is the same, 65% PVA glue, 35% water. And then I've mixed that 50-50, pouring medium to paint. And I've got the global impasto paint. And the last one I thought was a bit busy as well, because I've got so many cups. I'm still putting 3 drops in, and I ended up with, I think it was 18 drops that I worked out that I used, which was a bit too much. So I'm going to put 2 drops in, not the black. So it's still going to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So it's still going to be 14 drops of oil, which is still a lot, but 4 drops less than last time. So let's hope that helps. You don't always want more cells. I would prefer to have less cells and have them better shaped. As I've said before, you would have heard me, have less cells and stretch them and have them so that they're floating nicely, independently in a background, rather than having them all smushed up together. This one, there's quite a lot of cells on that one. It's pretty bright, lots of cells. That was one of my earlier ones. But yeah, I'm just trying to have more background. Actually, I can show you while I've got you here. I'll show you these 3 blue ones that I've done. They're dry now. That was the first one, just on my card. If they curl up a little bit, you can just bend them back. So that's how that one turned out. As I said before, mine don't change. They really don't. What you see when I pour is pretty much how they end up. That was the first one. I wasn't quite happy with it, so I redid it and did this one, and I was much happier with this one. Got these lovely cells here. The other one had more of a triangle shape. So that one is the second one. And then I took the black out with this one, and I actually prefer it with the black. It was just too blue. The cobalt blue took over, so preferred it with the blue in that one. The other one I wanted to show you, you might have seen that metallic one that I did in that little container with the 3 compartments, and I flipped it out. That's it there. All metallics. It was really thin paint. I was just using up leftovers. So that is it. All right, I need some cups. What are you guys barking at? Hey? I'm not going to spray them. I'm just going to get to it. Right, 5 cups. I've got my oil in. I haven't stirred yet, have I? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I'm going around 5, 6, 7 times, something like that. All right, so the other ones I had black first. Let's put some white in first. So paints are maybe a little bit thicker this time around. Rather have them on slightly on the thick side rather than on the thin side. And I've tried, haven't been that successful, but I've tried to keep my red away from the whites. I don't know what these 2 are going to do together, red on green, but I'll give it a go. I just tried keeping the red away from the white, that's all. It's bound to mix a little bit in the cup anyway, so I'll probably get some pink. Can't be helped. But because it's Christmassy, I really want the red to come through. That last one that I did, the green I felt really dominated and the red got lost. Probably because I had quite a lot of black in it as well. So my red kind of went a dark, reddy, muddy kind of a colour. So hopefully this time the red will be more pronounced and more Christmassy. And having the extra white instead of the extra black might also help. I didn't know where to put the black. It was a bit of a tricky one. If I put it, I guess I could have put it there, but then my red would be next to the white. Yeah, I don't know. I had trouble working out where to put the black, and I didn't want to put it. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's here at the end. It'll go next to the white. I was trying to keep it away from the white, but whatever way I worked it out, I was going to end up with red next to the white, and I decided, well, I'd rather have black next to the white. So that's what I'm doing. So how many people are doing Christmas pours coming up to Christmas? Hopefully a few of you are giving it a go. I personally hadn't used these colours until today, but I thought I'd have a go. I can't put a challenge up for the group and then not add one, can I? Hopefully this one works better than the other one, otherwise I'll have to put the other one up. Even though I've scraped it, I did take a photo of it, so at least I can pop that up. If this one's worse, hopefully it won't be, otherwise I will have had 2 bad pours today. And yes, I do have bad pours, we all do. Well, we experiment, we change colours, we change mediums, change consistencies. So don't feel bad if you do a pour that you're not happy with. We all do it. It's how we learn. It's the only way we can learn, I feel. The amount of canvases I've scraped, I can't even count them. Heaps. And I'd rather scrape a canvas like this and reuse it rather than keep a pour that I'm not in love with. Because I don't want to have to find somewhere to store it if I don't like it. It's not like I'm ever going to bring it out and display it if I'm not happy with it, so might as well just scrape it and go over it if I'm not sure. I see so many people putting up painting photos and saying, what do you think? I'm not sure. And you know, it's up to the individual. What one person likes, another won't, and vice versa. So go with your gut. If you're not happy with it, scrape it. It's just paint. If you love it, you'll know. I'm hoping I've got a little bit of paint left over of one colour. I don't know which colour, maybe the black. Pop some on my corners. I think also that I've struggled a bit with coverage on that last pour. Sometimes if I have too much paint, it moves into the middle and I can't stretch it properly, and then I don't get nice cells in the middle because I haven't been able to stretch it out. So sometimes using your extra paint that you've got left in your cup isn't a good idea. You end up with too much paint. I work out that I need 800 grams of mixed paint for this size, and that includes my wastage, what's left in the cup, because you can't get it all out. So you probably end up with maybe 600 grams that you've got on the surface. The other 100 grams is in the bottom of the cups, and the other 100 grams is on your table. And that's just how it is. So probably not a good idea to try and use up all your paint that you've got in the cup. I've done it before and I haven't been happy with it, and I don't know why I did it earlier today. You look at all these gaps and you think, oh, I must fill them on your blank canvas, but if you fill them at all, then you've got nowhere to have the paint stretch to. You know, it stretches to cover all those blank spaces, and you need it to stretch for your cells to grow. So if you're not stretching it, if you've got too much paint on there, your paint's got nowhere to go, you can't stretch it, then you're probably not going to have a very good result. I do so many pours and try so many different things. Sometimes I forget what works and what doesn't work, and then I have to remind myself, don't use the leftover paint in the cup. It's not worth it, it's just too much paint. You can't stretch it all out. Look at that, I've got enough black. Woohoo! That's good. Okay, tiny little bit left in there if I need to scrape any out. Okay, let's flip them over again. It's my third pour for today. I did the metallic one, the black and metallic one. And then I did my first Christmas one, and now I'm doing my second Christmas one. So that'll be it. 3 in one day is enough, isn't it? Right. Warm red. Cool red. The cool red's the one I made 2 cups of. Light green, dark green. Black and white. That's them. Throw my empty cups out. Alright, so I'm going to try not to use all the paint. If I've got a huge area that I need to cover, I'll put a little bit more on, but you tell me, you yell out to me, don't use all your paint in the cups. Don't pour it back on. You guys can be my conscience. Okay, let's go. Whoops, now I didn't do that one very well. There's quite a bit left in that one. Alright, I'm not using them. Stay there, cups. Plenty of areas here to stretch my paint out. Alright, where's my torch? Let's do this. See the difference already, not so much black. Round and round. It takes quite a while for the heat to travel down into the paint. The paint's quite thick. Whoops. Way too close there. Alright, that'll do. Still a lot of cells, isn't it? Considering I reduced the number of drops to 2 per cup. But it's the heat that does it. Because oil wants to come to the surface, obviously, as it does. Now that there has been overheated, so I need to get rid of that. So I'm going to go through there and through that as well. Okay. Happy with the rest of it? A couple of little caterpillars, but I don't want to mess it up too much. Okay, Let's do this. I see a little bit of pink happening. Can't be helped when you put red and white in the same cup. I'm liking the green. Look at that. Wow. Gorgeous. And this. It's a shame we have to stretch. One day I'm going to do a pour. I'm going to make my mix thinner. I'm going to do a pour, cover the whole thing and torch, and then just wait for the cells to come up and then leave it. How's that sound? Shall I do that? See what happens? Just have little cells. Okay, so now I've got to go down here. That's going to be a problem, getting down to that corner. Let's just do it, hey? And I'll come down to this bit here. There we go, it's gone over. Come back. Go down to that corner next. Let's see if I can get these little caterpillary things off while I'm there. Don't mind leaving that little corner black, that's okay. Oops, I'm out of frame, aren't I? Let's go back. Tiny little bit over there. Leave that black corner over the edge. As soon as it goes over, bring it back. Take your hand around the side so you don't drip in the middle. Okay, that's much better than the last one. Much better. And I haven't lost so much paint off the edge either. Because I tilted, you know, I used the paint that I had there. I tilted it to cover the surface. Now, this is a bit scrunched up here. Let me get my hand under there and open that up a bit. As I tilt towards you. And back. I'll do it later. Can't do it at the moment while I'm trying to get the paint to go down there. Some paint on there to help that weight of the paint go over the edge. Needed to open that bottom bit up a bit. Okay, back again. How's that looking? I don't know how Christmassy it is. Maybe candy cane. What else can I do? Not much. This is stretched nicely, that's stretched nicely. This is a little bit compacted here. I'll see if there's anything I can do with it. Not sure. Does it look Christmassy? I don't know. I guess the pink in it's throwing me a bit. This bit here that I don't really like. Can't really move it. I'm glad I did the corners black. Now, this is a bit stretched up here, so I'm going to take the weight of it down a bit towards me. Just to see if I can bring some of these down. I think that's better. Okay. How's that looking? Is it all right? Maybe a little bit more. Okay, I think that'll do. I am covered in paint. When you put your hands underneath, your arms get covered in paint from the bottom of the canvas. It's a really messy thing to do. Right, let me check my sides. Let's pop a little bit of black on that corner there. So what do you think? Does it look Christmassy? Would you say that's a Christmas pour? I don't know. Maybe that's as close as I can get to a Christmas pour. I'm not going to go again. I prefer it to the last one, that's for sure. Right, I'll be stopping at 2 Christmas pours. I've got lots of ideas of other pours that I want to do and show you. So I've got a whole list of them written down. I'll work my way through them. Okay, that's that corner done. Scrape my cup out, get the last of the paint out. I love putting the black corners on, love it. This makes it so easy. And if you've got any little spots that need filling in, the black is a perfect complementary colour to fill them in with. Well, I'm glad I reduced the oil down to 2. Still got heaps of cells, haven't I? And I've left my little bit of paint. See this? What I mean, you probably can't see that. There's about that much, an inch, 2 centimetres of paint left in that one. That one's got the most. The others have all still got some, but not quite as much as that. So, yeah, as I said, don't use all your paint. You need some of that blank area on the canvas for the paint to be able to stretch itself out and create your cells. Otherwise, your cells are all squished. All right, take these dirty gloves off. Take you in for a close-up. I guess my paint could have been maybe a touch thicker. Cells have stretched quite a lot, I guess. So thicker paint, your cells will stretch less. Stretch out of shape less, I should say. I'll just cover this at the back there so that's not... We'll just cover that messy paint there so you can actually see where the canvas ends. That's better, isn't it? Okay, I guess it's Christmassy. The kind of pinkish tone reminds me of cranberries. So even though I had 2 cups of the dark red, hasn't really shown up that much, has it? Still much better than the last one, much happier with it. I think from standing up there on the ladder and having a look down, I might just torch in here. Even though it's nice background, let's just see what's under there. Sometimes it's nice just to leave it though, you know, even though it's a bit hazy, it's the white over the top of the other paints. It's still a pretty colour. You get that striated, linear sort of look there. You've got the green lines through there, more reddish, pinkish lines through there. I think it's nice having a bit of background personally, in comparison to this guy, which is just cells everywhere. There's no particular pattern to it, whereas this one, as you can see, it's got more stripes in it. Okay, so I'll leave it there. That's it for the Christmas pours. Hope you've liked it. Have a go at them. Quite fun. Just make sure you have your paints thick enough that your colours don't mix too much. And try and put maybe white or black between your reds and greens. Don't put your red and green together too much. because that can also cause mud. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.